sense because she is doing this with a nobody. Obviously for Tana it makes sense because she can go into like real life femdom. But yeah, I just want to know your opinion. Anyway, good form, Bella Thorne, I guess. Bye.
What more is there to say then? I don't believe it.
It's not real. I mean, go with your gut. It's not real.
It's not real.
You know? I think you pretty much explained the whole thing. There's a popular YouTuber who's famous for her... Famous. Again, you also corrected yourself. Who's known for her story times, which is like a trope on YouTube where you tell a really crazy story. And she tweeted about wanting to date Bella Thorne, and Bella Thorne, who's never, one to back down from a challenge, said, sure, why not? And then, was spotted kissing her and hanging out with her. Do I think that they are hanging out and friends? Because, whatever, they seem to be the same type of person. For sure. Do I think they're dating? No. No. Obviously, no. The funny thing is, this is all happening while Scott Disick is, having a weirdly, romantic relationship with Sophia. Not romantic, but they're trying to portray that they're having this amazing romantic relationship. Yeah. Have you seen all these
more and more
content?
Way too many photos of them holding hands and cuddling. It's very atypical for Scott. Something is up. I don't know.
I mean, it's always sus. Meanwhile, Keeping Up with the Kardashians came back this past weekend, the new season. And they did this season on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and of course Scott's involved, and it's just a normal plotline for him where he sucks, and they all actually hate him, basically. But yes, yeah, please.
I've tried calling 3 times, and I think my phone is breaking. Anyway, I'm procrastinating doing some work, and I stumbled upon this E-News Instagram, and it's the SNL after party from this weekend, and it's Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes, because he hosted, I'm pretty sure, and then a selfie of Leslie Jones and Beyonce, a selfie of Leslie Jones and Jay-Z, Alicia Keys looking crazy and Swizz Beatz, and then the last picture isn't a picture of them together, but it's a split screen of Scarlett Johansson and Colin Jost, who's one of the Weekend Update hosts. And I guess they're together now, which is really weird because I think she's a total them, and he's a pretty big who. Even by SNL standards, I think he's a pretty big who. It kind of reminds me of Chris Evans dating Jenny Slate because he's a huge them, but she's funny. So it's doesn't matter that she's not that famous. It's that's what's happening here. I don't know. Good form, Bella Thorne.
First of all, before we get into the actual question, I went to the article, or I assume there's several articles that are identical to the one that the caller described, but I went to E! News to see the photo of Alicia Keys, quote, looking crazy, just to see what this caller actually meant by it. And turns out Alicia Keys looks crazy. She's wearing a long, what do you call those, dusters, the long coats, leather pants. She looks really cool, a cool styling, but she has her braids.
Neon braids?
Her braids are neon, and so they're bright orange and bright neon red, neon pink, and they look...
She looks crazy.
Really crazy. It looks crazy. I don't know how else to describe it. And she's with Swizz Beatz, and he's just looks normal. And then there's Alicia Keys with her crazy hair. And to get back to the question, Colin Jost, Scarlett Johansson, they've been rumored to be a thing for a really, really long time. The thing about this that's sort of
define
notable,
long time, though. What, a year?
A few
6 months?
A few months,
okay.
6 months. Since she was promoting Ghost in the Shell on SNL, which I think was March-ish. That's when the rumors started.
Right.
And then they would be in Page 6 a lot, where it's they went out to the Spotted Pig together, and then then Scarlett Johansson started being seen with someone else, and so it's sort of...
I hate the press around their relationship because it's so this schlubby guy got this hot movie star. It's he's not schlubby. He's the whitest bro jock,
frat bro, Harvard dude,
frat bro that is dating someone who actually this is not an unusual relationship. It's just that he's a TV comedian and she's a movie star, and that's why people are so blown away by their relation, by their relationship.
Physically, to be as shallow as possible. When you look at a side by side of their faces together, you're oh, they're a perfect match. they're an absolute, like, they're a perfect match. And you kind of roll your eyes. It's like, it's just very obvious.
It's just funny to me, the like, oh, it's Jenny Slate and Chris Evans, who I also thought were weirdly perfectly suited for each other. When I kind of thought about it, it made sense to me. But also, she's, I don't know, it's
two
you're right,
classically,
it's the same...
two very classically good looking people, like with like, like traditionally good looking features are fucking, like, big whoop. Colin Jost, whatever. We can talk about Colin Jost for a long time.
I guess
Jenny
Slate and Chris Evans was a little bit more interesting because he was more like the all-American and she felt a little bit more like alt because she,
like, indie movie
is more
queen.
of like, she's more like a, creative, different type of person. He felt so like white bread, even if that's not actually the type of person he is in real life. The way that we know him to be is that way. So it's a little bit different. These two, it's like, oof, like, duh, who cares? You know, this is the most
two
duh.
very well sculpted pieces of white bread.
What I love though is when did he mention that she like sat in the car at the party? There are like photos of her like waiting for him.
There are photos of her waiting in the car, and he's like coming out with his.
I'm sorry, if Beyonce is at the party and you're waiting in the car, you're a fucking asshole. Like, that is unacceptable, right?
Yeah, they're also really the photos of. I love Leslie Jones's shamelessness is just like the most charming thing in the universe.
I know, but it's great because it's like her brand now, so people want to take photos. Yeah, she's just
like, hey Beyonce selfie, like, hey Beyonce, here's terrible lighting, and Beyonce's just like, okay, whatever.
I mean, it's true. I just love that Scarlett Johansson's waiting in the car. I mean, even if those photos are not accurate, maybe she wasn't even waiting in the car. Maybe she was waiting in the car for a second and then went in. I love that there's no proof of her at the party. She's literally like, go in, do 10 minutes. I'll be in the car getting photographed while you like hang out with Beyonce. I'm good. I'm over it.
I wonder if pretty soon Colin Jost will be spotted at Scarlett's popcorn shop in Paris.
Oh my god, the popcorn shop. Who's taking care of the popcorn shop?
Like, what's it called? Like, le pop. Oh, Yummy Pop. It's called Yummy Pop.
Is that really what it's called, or you just made that up?
Oui, le pop. No, it's called Yummy Pop.
Yummy Pop. Is that French? It's not French.
Yummy. You have to, if you say it like a French person, Yummy Pop. Yeah, then it's French. Yummy Pop. The bags say, the future will be pop.
Scarlett's poor ex-husband is just working at a popcorn shop in France. like looking at paparazzi photos of her and her new young boyfriend being like, oh, zut alors.
This article on Hollywood Reporter about Yummy Pop. The opening of the shop fits right in with the Americanization of Paris's food culture. Yummy Pop sits across the street in the popular Marais district from a hot dog stand, burger joints, barbecue, and anything Brooklyn themed, as they've all been all the rage recently. There's even a fried chicken and waffles bar.
How are those Brooklyn themed? Just foods.
Yummy Pop. I love the photos of her behind the counter working at Yummy Pop.
I love that, like, they were married and then they open a popcorn shop and she's like, I don't want this popcorn life. I gotta get out of here. Paris was not as glamorous as I was promised.
Paris can wait.
No! Stop.
The caption on the lead image of this Hollywood Reporter article, that's just the facade of Yummy Pop, is Scarlett Johansson's Yummy Pop. It's endlessly funny to me.
He's like, Scarlett, I never get attention for my contributions to Yummy Pop, and I'm so sick of it. And she's like, oh, au revoir, like leaves, goes back to the United States, divorces him. He's like behind the counter at Yummy Pop, like depressed, like adding salt, adding butter.
Meanwhile, I mean, I guess it's Yummy Pop is actually sort of nice because it's not as embroiled in legal battles as Jessica Biel's Oh Fudge. Did you hear about that?
Did you? I mean, from you. You're obsessed with it. We were promised seventh heaven, and instead we got hell.
Chocolate dipped hell. Chocolate dipped hell. Jessica Biel is being sued. Well, Jessica Biel's company is being sued by, I guess, employees there because they're claiming that they got stiffed from their tips. And there's like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars that allegedly have not been paid to them that are owed to them. And like, oh fudge. Oh Fudge is where... did you live in LA when Oh Fudge was open? It's like...
Yes,
people would take their kids there, right? That's the thing.
Did. And the thing with Oh Fudge was that it had childcare in it. It was like a trendy restaurant with also weirdly trendy childcare, which is... conceptually a good idea, but in actuality a total nightmare to execute. Like, why would you ever want to do that? Think about that too. And also, it breaks like the number one rule, which is if you have childcare, you're not supposed to be in the place with them because then they just want to hang out with you. Like, it's really, you know what I mean? The kid would just come back to you. Or anyways, the whole thing is like a huge mess. And apparently the childcare part is not even the issue. The issue is that they straight up were not paying the tips that were owed to the staff at this restaurant.
The lead of this People story, Jessica Biel and her business partners at the Los Angeles kid-friendly restaurant Oh Fudge are in hot water for allegedly keeping more than $430,000 in gratuities from their employees and denying them meal and rest breaks. I gotta say, that's really bad language, because if you're Fudge, you want to be in hot water.
Oh my god. Oh my... no.
You know what I mean?
Make fudge. What I'm trying to say to you is, if you are a celebrity, putting your name on a restaurant is really a bad idea. I really think it's a bad idea.
What was Britney's, like, Nola? Britney had Nola.
Yeah. Justin Timberlake has one in New York.
Southern Hospitality, which I went to more than once because I used to work down the street.
It's not bad.
It's fine. Are we done? I want to keep talking about Oh Fudge. Listen, Oh Fudge, if you're listening, fly us over. I want to record an episode in Oh Fudge.
No,
or
you
Yummy
don't.
Pop. Yummy Pop, if you're listening, fly us to Paris. I would
These are
love
all
to.
terrible ideas. Terrible ideas.
What is the
we'll
value
be in
out of
LA
this
next
ad
week.
placement?
Hey, we'll be in LA this week. Maybe we should go to Oh Fudge.
We should
No, we're not going.
go to... Can we?
Here's the thing.
Can we?
Here's the thing.
Can
No.
we?
No.
Lindsay, can we?
No.
I'm staying an
About,
extra
like,
day. I can go.
About like 4 or 5 years ago, Bobby and I were really into the thing where you would go places that are bad for fun. And then you realize as you get older, this is a really like wise thing. You realize as you get older that like, why would you go to places that are bad for fun? Like, they're not that fun because they're bad. Do you know?
No, I know, you're right.
So you don't really get that much joy from it. And so you learn to pick and choose your battles, which is like, I could go see a really, really, really shitty movie at midnight just like to see, because it would be bad for fun. But then you're like, my whole life is ruined. That's not fun.
It's harder and harder to enjoy things ironically as you age.
I mean, I enjoy things ironically all the time, but I'm saying I'm not going to put a lot of effort into it, like going to Jessica Biel's restaurant, Oh Fudge. For example, how many times have I been to Sir, Vanderpump Rules Sir? Way more times than any self-respecting person should be going to a restaurant featured on a television show, you know?
And I gotta say, and it's like, maybe 2011 me would have been okay going to a bad movie at midnight, but year-old me is not going to go to a bad movie at midnight anymore.
Did you just blur your own age? What are you, like, Kim Cattrall? Like, what? What?
Yeah, Lindsay.
Me. Okay, well, take your year-old self and get the hell out of here. This episode is over. I'm too old for this shit.
Thank you to all of our callers. We will see you in Los Angeles at the Hollywood Improv, doing a show. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Doing some improv.
We're going to sell some merch if we can fit it in our carry-on. No, we're gonna check a bag with some merch. Limited supplies.
Take the shirts off our backs. They'll be yours for the low price. I'm joking. What else?
I'm joking. They're high priced. No, we're done. Bye. See you this week. Later.
Bye.
You will dream it.
Yo, they wanna know.
Hey, hey, I want to be famous.
You have to, if you say it like a French person.